3 weeks ago, my bees swarmed. It was probably the most exciting day of my life. There were thousands of bees flying around the garden, and then they ended up clustering in like a ball around the tree. And my job as a beekeeper was to basically try and capture them and rehome them in a box. I grabbed a ladder and an empty box, and I shook as many bees as I could into that box, hoping that the queen bee was in there, because the queen is the one that's leading this journey.
Are you kidding? Surely that's gonna make him go crazy.
No, it's fine. It took me a few hours, but eventually I had things under control. I had the queen bee and loads of the other ones in a new box. So now I actually have 2 beehives. In the left-hand hive is the swarm of bees that I caught out the tree. And within there is actually the queen that used to be in the right-hand hive. Because when they swarm, it's the old queen which leaves. So, left-hand hive has the original queen, the one with the white dot of paint on its head. I know that because I saw it go in there. That colony of bees on the left should be good because they have a queen, they have worker bees, and they are a fully functioning hive. However, the right-hand hive, I'm slightly more skeptical because a colony of bees needs a queen. And when I last checked them, they didn't have a queen because the old queen left. However, they were in the process of making a new queen. I knew this because they had made this queen cell, this larger cell where a new queen would be born from. When a new queen is born, it then flies out the hive and then goes and mates with male bees. It then flies back, and then once it's mated, it is ready to start laying eggs and the colony is fully functioning again. However, when that queen is born and flies out, it might get hit by a car, or it might get slapped by a human who doesn't like bees. So there's a chance something can go wrong. And then without that queen, the colony will just slowly die because there's no bee to lay any eggs. If there isn't, we might have to do some other complicated stuff like join the 2 beehives together, or buy a queen from an external source, like buy a new queen and then introduce it to the hive. But fingers crossed, we have a queen in there which is laying eggs and is all good. But I mean, I don't know. We're gonna have to jump in and find out, and that's what we're gonna do now. When I light my smoker, I normally start it with some birch bark. Birch bark is like one of the most flammable materials, and it's just the perfect fire starter. So I take some of that off a tree in the garden actually, pop it in the smoker first, light that, and then after that I put something like string or pine cones on top. I went to the forest last year and I just collected a whole bag full. These are, I believe they're Scots pine cones, but apparently when you light a smoker you should just use anything which is natural. And if you're wondering the reason for the smoker, it's because when you spray the smoke over the bees, they think that there's like a fire. The bees prepare for this fire by going into their hive and eating lots of honey, because if they need to move home, they need lots of honey in them to have the energy to start a colony somewhere else. Because they're full of honey and because they're busy going to find the honey, they are less likely to get aggressive and less likely to sting you. That's what I've heard anyway. So I'm basically getting a decent fire going in the smoker so that there's some hot embers. It's going really strong now, so I'll just pack it full with as much as I can fit in. Oh no, I got smoke in my face. Ah! And I can pop the lid on. And there we have a lit smoker, and that should smoke for about half an hour. I've got a yellow pen, you'll find out what that's for a bit later. I'm going to put that in my little pocket. I've got this device, which looks kind of interesting, but you'll also see what this is for later. I've got my hive tool to prise open the hive. I'm going to put these gloves on, which I realised the other day aren't bee proof. No, I got stung on my finger. So they obviously don't work. I just feel a bit safer with them on. And I've heard that the bees are sometimes less likely to sting because it doesn't feel like skin. And then I'm just tightening up my wrist thing here so that no bees can get through. Right, let's check the bees. Okay, hello bees, hello. I'm coming in. We are looking for a new queen. I should mention this box here is called a honey super. So in here is where the honey is being made, and I can already see that they've drawn out some of the frames. We can have a look at that a bit later. Oh my goodness, this box is heavy. I think we might have honey in there already. So this is the queen excluder. This thing stops the queen from coming through. These bees are a little bit angry. Nothing on that frame. Nothing on that frame. Oh yes, there's eggs. I can see eggs. There's a queen in there. I see eggs. That's great. I wonder if we can find the queen though. How on earth am I ever going to find this queen? You'd think it would be impossible. Okay, I don't think the queen is on that frame. It's like, where do you even start looking? It's just like, there's so many bees. It feels like I'm never going to find this queen. I know there's a queen in here because there's eggs. It feels like it's just going to take me hours. It's not the end of the world if I don't spot her today, but I'd like to do something where I mark the queen with a yellow pen, and it will make finding the queen in the future a lot easier. You can see all that pollen in there, all that coloured stuff. That's all the pollen that they've been storing, and that's the food that they give to the baby bees, because I believe pollen is very high in protein. There's a bee there actually, you can see the pollen on its hind legs. There's another one over here as well. You can see the yellow pollen. So cool. No sign of the queen. Oh, I see the queen. I've just seen the queen and it's so obvious. Wow. There's the queen. She is only a few weeks old. Wow. Look at that. Beautiful. And she's the one laying all these eggs. They should go down, and then now I can lay this flat. And then I need to trap the queen in there. Okay, so I've got the queen. She's in there. Okay, so I've got a pen and I've got to do a dot. Calm it, bees, calm it. I know this isn't what you want, but it's gonna help me. There's a yellow dot on the queen's head. We've done it. Okay, now I can lift that off. So now, as you can see, the queen has a yellow dot, which means we can find it a lot easier. Wow, nice. That was pretty much all I had to do with this hive. Find the queen, check that she was laying eggs, and mark her with a yellow pen so I can find her easier in the future. That's really cool. I can put this hive back together now and leave them to it. Let them make more honey. Oh, that honey box is heavy. Let's have a look inside the honey super. See what's going on in there. Most of the frames look like that. There's nothing on them. Oh wow. So you can see that one. They've actually drawn out the comb. See all this? This is freshly drawn out comb, which they will then store the honey in. Oh, we've got honey. That side, there's not much. This side, they've actually capped it over. No flipping way. We've got honey. All this here is honey, which they have capped. That is epic. Wow. I was not expecting that. That is so cool. And all these bees here are doing all the work. Oh, and we've got honey on this frame as well. This frame is the heaviest. Look at that. All the white stuff at the top is stuff which they've capped over. And then if I show you the other side, you can see they've done quite a lot there. And the rest of it, you can actually see the nectar which is being prepared and turned into honey. Oh, no way. That's amazing. But that is so cool to see that they're actually making honey. And at some point this summer, if they fill up the frame, we can then take the frame out and eat it. There we go. Time to check hive number 2. I don't really need to check anything in particular in this hive. I just wanted to see whether they need more space, but I don't think they do because they haven't filled up every frame. This frame, you can see they've got lots of stores of honey in there. I can see quite a lot of eggs in there. Lots of brood, which means that the queen is laying well. Oh, I see the queen. Next frame. Just see her, white dot. So we've now got a queen with a white dot, which means it was born last year, and we've got a queen with a yellow dot, which means that it's born this year. So in my beekeeping book, there's a section on marking the queen. So if the year is ending in 2 or 7, so this year is 2022, so it's ending in 2, I mark the queen yellow. And that's just a way that you can sort of know how old your queen is, what year it was born, and it's just a handy way of finding the queen as well, because it has a bright dot on its head. And then next year it'll be red, and then green, and then blue. When I set up this hive a few weeks ago, there was just 2 frames, I think, and that was it. And they've actually worked on drawing out all the other frames so that they can use them for raising their young and also storing food in. So yeah, this is all brand new work that they've done. You can see that around the edges is the honey or the stores of food, and then in the middle you've got the baby bees being born. Pretty mad. And then that side is a similar thing as well. Look at all of that. That's all food which they've stored. I am a very happy beekeeper because now I have 2 functioning hives. They both have a queen, they both look healthy, and one of them, this one, I've already got a honey box on top and they are storing and making honey already. Cheers for watching this beekeeping episode. I'll see you soon.